Hello, and welcome to People of the Pod, brought to you by American Jewish Committee. Each week, we take you beyond the headlines to help you understand what they all mean for America, Israel, and the Jewish people. I'm your host, Manya Brashear-Pashman. Israeli stand-up comedian Yohay Sponder first gained popularity for his Funny Monday shows in Tel Aviv, which attracted a following on YouTube. A few years ago, Sponder made the decision to perform Israeli comedy in English to reach a wider audience, and a wide audience it has reached. He has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, and in May launched the North American leg of his international tour in Baltimore. Sponder is with us now on the sidelines of AJC Global Forum 2025. Sponder, welcome to People of the Pod.
Thank you so much for this eulogy.
I'm curious how you found your way to stand-up comedy, and tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
I've always been fascinated about the laughing reaction of humans, you know? It's fascinating if you think about it. If you have the ability to improve the frequency in the room. As a kid, I was really intrigued by that. You saying a few things and people go, haha. It's like designing of vibe. So as a kid, I was always attracted to that. So as a kid, you watch video cassettes back in the day. I would watch all of the comedy stuff. I had all of them cassettes. I was very, very affected by it. Impersonations, imitating them, doing jokes of my own, and always around that. And in my show, I'm talking about comedy. I have a bit about comedy in my show, that I'm saying that I wasn't just the class clown in my school. I was the jokes technician also. If you had a broken joke or a joke that didn't work, you would come to me. I would fix it for you, bring it back. Not using it as my own resume. I would bring it back when it's fixed.
That's great. That's great. So you helped others clown around as well.
Yeah, I was a clown teacher.
Were you raised in a secular home, a particularly Jewish home?
I was raised in let's say, secular but Jewish. Celebrated holidays, family, Friday night, family dinners. But we weren't like super Shabbat keepers. I think I became more closer now when after my father passed away for the Kaddish, and I put tefillin a little bit. And the war, you know, this war activated a lot of Jews to this kind of level.
Right. You're sitting across from me and you're wearing a gigantic Star of David.
Yeah, you
on
see
your
what
chest,
you did? You see what you did? You're sitting across and you're wearing a gigantic Star of David.
Have you always worn that, or
No.
did you put it on after October 7th?
After the war kicked in, I don't know. I had a vision that that's what we should do right now. We need to be out there and show other Jews that we're there. And I imagined that I need a big Star of David. And the day I thought about it, I saw that. So it was a sign for me. I had this vision that I need a big Star of David here. And less than 24 hours, that one find me. I didn't look for it. It came across my eyes.
Which I imagine you'll be wearing your Magen David on tour. The tour itself is called SelfLoving Jew. What is the meaning of that title?
So basically, this is so awesome because before October 7th, you could argue of other opinion. You could hear some people saying, yeah, but maybe we should this and that. Like, after October 7th, that we know all these monsters that came and attack us, the self-hating Jews that they're doing now super horrific, disgusting job of mocking us. And I find it really bad. So I'm bringing the other side. As Jews, we have to love us because we're probably the last ones to love us. And if we won't love us, that's over for us. And people saying that it's very harsh to compare the self-hating Jews of now to the couples. And I'm saying, yes, it's not fair for the couples because they didn't have a choice. You guys have a choice. And you did it just for likes and for other people from other cultures to like you. I really deeply believe I'm coming from there. I'm coming from the war. I really believe that the people that don't give us the credit, people that are not supporting Israel, they're uneducated. I really believe in that. They don't know enough. They might be not bad people, but they might be stupid people. Self-hating Jews like Dave Smith, all these guys that try to be liked by, others, and they, out of their own idiocy, listen, you don't know anything about what's going on. As Douglas Murray told him, you've been there, you saw those things that you're talking about. When you're saying Israel starving the Gazans, you're never seeing the trucks that going every day, you're an idiot. You're just an idiot. You listen to other people and you listen to other lies, and they will say, no, I just want peace. Well, we all want peace. Just the fact that you're Jewish, it means that you want peace. We say shalom when we see each other. When we say Shabbat shalom, the holiest day of the week, we say telech b'shalom, tachzor b'shalom, go in peace, come back in peace. You don't want peace more than I want. We all want peace. But we're willing to fight for peace because we have to make sure that no innocent people from in both sides, by the way, will get hurt. So yeah, it's really bad and shitty situation, war, but you blame us without checking it. So anyway, I don't want to make it too much political. It's not political, by the way. Self-loving Jew, it's about loving yourself and being in touch with what's going on right now.
So there is so much misinformation out there. You started doing English language comedy to reach a wider audience. Now you're doing an English language international tour. Do you have a message that you want to get out to the wider world, to especially this region where there is so much misinformation and misunderstanding?
Yeah, the message is that we're living in a time that it's very hard to agree on something. And I really miss the days that we all agree that the world is round. A little long ago, a few years ago. But yeah, the message is that you do your research and come to laugh with us.
It's an important message that I think gets forgotten. I mean, October 7th and its aftermath were so horrific. Did you press pause on your comedy career for a little while? At what point did you find it acceptable to make people laugh again in the aftermath?
No, it took time. It
Yeah.
took time. It took a day.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right after that, after the attack, they start to arrange people to go to volunteer in squats, and families that got evacuated from their house, and soldiers and hospitals, people got wounded. So I've been around. I did that. That was my duty service. And also I did regular reserves duty, stuff like that.
And what did you do on reserve duty?
I was in Ramat Gan patrol, which is not super serious, but I did what I did.
And at what point did you go back to the stage and do more stand-up?
So I'm running the show Funny Monday. I think roughly a month after October 7th, we get maybe 2 months. Yeah, something like around that. January maybe. I don't remember. Like a little bit after that, the show went back and we did stand-up in English. People really followed what's going on in Israel, no matter what you do from the country. They follow that. We had strong, I'm saying we, it's Shachar Hasson, my co-host, very good fan, really funny man, serious comedian, like he's one of A-list, top list. And people follow that, people watching what we have to say. That was the main purpose of Funny Monday when we launched it in 2016, 9 years ago.
Did it shift when you restarted it after October 7th? Was it different?
Yeah.
How so?
We always talked about current event, what's going on in the world. It's the international perspective of not just news, but Israel perspective and stuff like that. So in that case, you're talking about Iran's attack, what the news with Biden, Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever is happening politically or current events. And people were more attached to the screen those days. And also in comedy, it's a great form of art to deliver, your point of view or what you want to say. So it was great to do that. And till this very day, that's what we do.
So you really, though, have to read the room, right? I mean, different audiences, I imagine, receive your comedy in different ways, especially in different regions of the world. So I'm curious if there are differences in the kind of humor that resonates with an Israeli audience and the kind of humor that resonates with an American audience or a European audience.
So that's why I love my country so much, because you can do stand-up in any form you want. You can go as dark as you want in Israel or as political as you want. We have some issues right now with people having fight with each other of political issues, and we have a lot of demonstrations and stuff. So there's that. But beside that, you can get away with a lot of what people say here in America, woke culture or politically correct. In Israel, we don't have it. You're doing stand up like in the 80s. If someone looks gay in the audience, you tell them, hey, you look gay, man. That's very gay. Or you fat, you this, you're very brown. We just say that, and that's fine. We don't even know what it means to cancel someone. No one get canceled in Israel.
Holocaust humor. That's also acceptable in Israel, yes?
It's not just it's acceptable. For example, from my wife's point of view, she was shocked when people came back to say, wow, miklachot po shoah. The showers here is like it's the Holocaust shower. They saying that. There's something that you say in the army, and it's kind of fine. No one like, hey, how can you compare this shower? Because the water was cold. So they were cold, so they say, but in the Holocaust, no water at all. It was gas. And also when my wife told me, don't honk like this, it's ghetto. It's American thing to say, don't honk, it's ghetto. It's like, I'm pretty sure that in Auschwitz, they didn't have cars.
She's talking about a different kind of ghetto,
you can't
of course.
do these jokes. Yeah, you can't do this. She's from American perspective, you can't do these jokes. It's horrible. It's like, that's jokes we do here all the time. And in Israel, you use Nazi sometimes as not only as a bad thing. It's like accuracy. You say the Nazis coming on time. So I need a Nazi plumber, not someone that is a good commander. He was a Nazi. Like when I'm having the perspective of my wife and American people, I understand how horrible that is. However, some Holocaust survivors testify that they had humor in the camps. They used humor, even dark humor, in the camps. And it helped them raise their frequency and raise their morality and maybe survive. Maybe humor saved them. So when you're saying too soon, sometimes, yeah, it's too soon for someone, but it's okay for someone else. I see black humor as spicy food. We all have our own scale for it. You can eat spicy like a crazy mental person, and I can just taste it and, it's too harsh for me and vice versa. So I did jokes about October 7th and November 7th, and horrible one. And it was also with the Holocaust. That's how horrible that was. So maybe it's too soon for the Holocaust. It's too soon for October. I said the people that compared October 7th to the Holocaust. And I'm saying, at least in the Holocaust, no one kidnapped Holocaust survivors. It's not a funny joke as like, ha funny. It's like, oh, shit. Okay, yeah. It's not a punchline. It's a punch in your belly.
What have been some of the most memorable moments from your shows, from your live shows? And I'm talking good and bad. Have there been really positive responses and have there been really ugly moments?
So let's just take this afternoon in Paris that I'm sitting in my hotel and Instagram and social media exploding from what's going on with the releasing of the Bibas babies. That we're getting back coffins. And I'm getting, I don't know, hundreds of messages from people that we don't know if we're coming to the show. 2 shows sold out in a huge theater in Paris. I'm not there every day. That's the show. That's it. One day since October 7th, and no one knows when I'm going to come again. And my heart is broken. And people tell me, we want to come, but we can't. What do you think we should do? And I responded to all of them. My wife and I responded to all of them. You do what you feel. I totally support your feeling. And the show is going to happen. And we get together tonight. And it's going to be a group hug. But if you can't make it, that's fine. I went on stage with orange tie that I bought, and we talk it through. Arthur is the comedian and producer of those shows. He opened the show. He talked about the situation, and we did the shows. Now, that's the beauty of it. The genome of the Jewish people that's so in us. To when we talked earlier about the Holocaust survivors that testify that they want to laugh. They want to have a good time. They don't want to let these terrorists decide for us what we're going to feel. Yeah, we feel bad. Yes, you're the worst people on the planet. I wish God will wipe you out, or IDF, as fast as possible. You're a disgusting dirt of... But for us, for what we can do right now, we're going to do our best to raise our morality and frequency. And I did the shows. I'm not going to lie to you. I was very sad. But, the people that's what Bob Marley said. After he got shot, and he did the show anyway. And he said, the people that want us to feel bad, they don't take a day off. So how could I? That's a very nice thing to say.
You had a show at City Winery where some people in the audience came maybe with intentions to protest, or at least they expected to disagree with you. And they met up with you after the show. And what happened?
After my show, one of the presidents of the BDS organizations, she approached me and she said, we came to hustle the show. We came to ruin your show. I said, like, why you didn't do it? And she said, we were waiting for the right moment. But the more the show went on, the more we liked what you said. You talk a lot about peace. You talk a lot about mutual values and how to solve problems. And you talk about the nice things of the Jewish tradition and the Jewish religion. We couldn't ruin that. We have conscience, and we also liked you. They liked the show. They wanted to ruin it, but they loved it, and they laughed. I told her that's exactly what I do. In my stand-up show, when you see that bit, it's with the whole structure of what happened there and how I almost made peace with these guys, but it didn't work out.
Maybe you need to do your stand-up routine in Gaza, and it would solve everything.
I checked that. They don't have comedy clubs there. I said that when I hosted the show. We have an Arab comedian, a friend of ours. People, they don't know that, but Arabs, Israelis are Palestinians to their definition, to the Palestinians' definition. It's the same thing, but they don't identify as Palestinians. It's like, we're Muslims, we're Arabs. Anyway, they're with us. They're like siblings to us. So when I introduced him, I made fun of the situation. I said, when is going to be in Palestine, when is going to be the Jewish comedian goes on stage like you going here and stuff like that. And there is no comedy clubs in Ramallah or in Gaza. But inshallah, when the wheel, I go and I do a spot.
How many of your shows, as you've been traveling around, have actually been canceled or moved or postponed? I read something about your Amsterdam show, for example, was moved to an undisclosed location because of security concerns. Has that happened elsewhere?
Australia, and they tried to cancel my show in Brussels, didn't make it. They tried to cancel my show in Paris, they couldn't make it, but demonstrated outside. And every time that thing happened, I got a lot of press covers and interviews, and people get insane and like, oh, we have to support, and they come to see the show. So every time it happens, I doubling or sometimes tripling the amount of people, which is so weird, because the people that hate us always go, Jews, money, and you guys this, and you made me make more money. I didn't want to make that much money. I want to make a third of the amount of money because of your protesting. Your hate, that's how bad you are of what you do and how amazing we are what we do, I didn't want to make that much money. So now I hired them, the protesters, so they work for me.
They do your marketing, generate publicity. So none of the shows have been successfully canceled? They've all gone on?
No, the Amsterdam show canceled, the Boom Chicago, which is also surprising. Your name is Boom Chicago. What's your security concerns? Is it going to be a boom? Let it be.
But I thought it was moved.
We moved
okay.
that because a week before the show, they said we're not doing the show. And was like, guys, let me respond. Let me say something. No, the police said that. We called the police. We have their numbers. We called them. They say, no, we didn't talk to them. And then they wrote, we can help you find a Jewish venue. So I told him, we can help you find a Jewish lawyer.
So there was no show?
Not in the Boom Chicago.
Got it.
And I'll never go there.
Okay. And not in Amsterdam?
No, it was in Amsterville.
Got it. Okay. Amsterville?
Yeah.
Was that next to Amsterdam?
Turns out, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that too. It was a very nice theater. I think 3 times size of the Boom Chicago. And we had a great time. And I'll go there again. And it's not just the Boom Chicago. When we try to rebook it, a lot of other venues, more than 30 venues, didn't want to have me there.
So is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you really want to share with our audience?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not sure that the audience is going to be 100% Jewy, right? So the message is going to be split for both. So I'll talk to them. So if you guys are Jews, I want you to know that everything's going to be fine. And we got this. Raise your head and we're good. We're going to be good. This is probably the last one. It's the last one. I think Messiah is coming, right? We're going to be fine. All right. And if you're a non-Jewish person that watching it, you're an ally. So I want to thank you. We don't take it for granted. It's very important that you're around.
Sponder, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. This episode is brought to you by AJC. Our producer is Atara Lakritz. Our sound engineer is TK Broderick. You can subscribe to People of the Pod on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or learn more at ajc.org/peopleofthepod. The views and opinions of our guests don't necessarily reflect the positions of AJC. We'd love to hear your views and opinions or your questions. You can reach us at peopleofthepod@ajc.org. If you've enjoyed this episode, please be sure to tell your friends, tag us on social media with #peopleofthepod, and hop on to Apple Podcasts to rate us and write a review to help more listeners find us. Tune in next week for another episode of People of the Pod.